Hey, my name is Mike Pierce with Pierce Knives out of Walla Walla, Washington. We are custom knife makers, do most of our stuff on custom orders, and we make all of our own Damascus in-house and use just the highest quality products. I don't use any recycled materials, and I'm really a steel nerd, so we're into the metallurgy side of things pretty good, and working with a lot of metallurgists trying to get the best heat treats possible out of our materials. And so we use a lot of high-end stainlesses and then a lot of Damascus, and all the Damascus is made in-house at a 15N20 and 1084. A lot of our embellishments are done by family members. Brian Bump does the engraving on a lot of our buoys. And all of our knives, almost all the knives are made custom to order, and that way you can get pretty much everything you want out of it. We can do any kind of steel you're looking for and any handle materials you're looking for, size it to your hand. Some of these are for people with larger hands, down to people with smaller hands. And then we Rockwell test everything, stand behind everything. If it breaks or anything goes majorly wrong, we stand behind it. This is a giant chopper. Haven't come up with a name for it or anything, but it's just a giant 5160 chopper for going in the woods or whatever you want to do. Thinking about using it on Knife or Death if I get on the show. I've got the back here so that you can do some ice chopping without doing any damage to your reel edge. 1.5 hands on it if you joke up on it, which will give you a little extra power to get into big ropes and boxes. This guy here is a mosaic Damascus pattern on the outside, and then there's 320 layer ladder pattern Damascus that's been tiled so that the pattern goes out the end of the blade. Then a 15N20 layer for carbon migration, and a layer of 1084 for the bit. And then I got a gorgeous piece of Steve Hughes from Shelton Pacific koa wood for the handle. Probably one of the largest pieces of koa I've worked with. I like making a lot of kitchen knives. I kind of like the Japanese inspired ones, but I do make French styled kitchen knives. And I like to run them pretty hard. They're about 61.5 Rockwell. I use a lot of AEBL and Nitro V steel, along with a lot of Bowler Oldham products. I like the L-Maxes and your M390s. All titanium. L-Max blade on this one. Tip up carry. It's a liner lock with the over travel stop. And there's actually no bearings in this one, but it goes out without a problem. And this is a prototype. I'd like to make more of those. The titanium's fun to work with and anodize. And this is my competition chopper for Blade Sport International that I'd like to compete in. It's M4 tool steel, ran up to about 62 Rockwell. I heat treat all of my other blades, but this being M4 tool steel and a Blade Sport knife, I sent it to Peters Heat Treating in Pittsburgh, and they use the Delta heat treating protocol on it. So it should be pretty well indestructible, but it's down to about a 0 edge and should fly through a 2x4 tapered tang. Claude Scott made a sheath for it. Probably one of the nicest Blade Sport sheaths out there. You can find me if you Google Pierce Knives or Pierce Knives on Facebook. We take custom orders and love to see anybody that wants to come visit the site.